Hello, and welcome to this nighttime taste challenge. Now, if you live on the east coast of the USA, it's dawn already, daylight in play, but we're still under daylight savings time for the rest of this month. So we got this pretend. But anyway, here are two blended Scotch whiskies. Hello to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. Peace to you. Here we have 100 Pipers, sold around the world as Seagram's 100 Pipers, although Seagram's has not owned the brand since 25 years ago. This is produced by Chivas Brothers, and there's an essay on the back. Produced by Chivas Brothers and bottled in the United States in Kentucky by Heaven Hill. So when Seagram sold Chivas Brothers to Pernod Ricard, that was a whole company. They just sold the whole thing. Heaven Hill got involved and negotiated the rights to have it bottled and sold in the U.S. So it's under Heaven Hill's umbrella for the United States market. It used to be pretty popular around here. I used to see it at a lot of stores. I rarely see it today. You'll find it here and there, but not too much. It's one of those that's kind of faded. It's very popular in India, but and they even have a 12-year age in India, but I haven't seen it ever in the United States. When I was at the airport, Heathrow Airport, Terminal 5, it was they had 5 terminals. I was waiting for the flight. Oh, here's the competitor, Johnnie Walker, A Song of Fire. Introduced in 2019 in collaboration with HBO home box office for a television series promotional. But it only lasted for a few years because then this TV series ended, so they ended this. And it says right there, limited edition. It wasn't made to last, and there's no website listing anymore. So, and that's from Johnnie Walker. All right. So I was walking around the airport bored to death, I'm not going to sit there and just stare at a phone. So I, looked in bookstores and stuff. It wasn't anything too interesting, but the liquor stores were interesting. And they had the 100 Pipers. It was called Seagram's 100 Pipers with a different bottle. They just used a standard Heaven Hill bottle here. And then they had the 12-year. And that was my chance to buy it, but I wasn't paying to ship it back home. I'm not going to pay $40 to ship a $12 bottle back home or whatever it was. It wasn't much. They had inexpensive liquor at the airport, yes, in mid-range, typical things. Jack Daniels. They had a whole Brown-Forman rack, an island, a standalone area, and had Old Forester, all your typical Brown-Forman stuff. Corbel brandy and all that. Although I think that was in the brandy section, cognac section, but that kept me occupied. And then at some of the liquor stores, they would say, "You want to try some of it?" And I did. Okay, so I'll show you the website. Appearance, they're the same, amber. So the appearance won't matter. I won't have to close my eyes. Okay, here's the website listing. They call this their specialty brands. Abalur, single malt, probably used to make this 100 Pipers. Old single malt distillery. Oh, that's a specialty. Here, well, strategic local brands. 100 Pipers. Created in 1905 by Chivas Brothers master blender Alan Bailey. This whiskey owes its name to the Scottish tradition of bagpipers leading the soul to battle. The courage of the piper gives a message of genuine camaraderie and respect and admiration. Okay, so that's the bottle you'll see in India or in England, but not here. Something special, created in 1912. I think I remember seeing that in England, and I think they had different varieties of it. It wasn't just the standard. Other brands, Passport. I've seen that in Louisiana. Don't see it anymore. Never tried it, but I've seen it. Yes. Passport Selection. I thought it was called just Passport. Oh, introducing Passport Selection. So a new one, a new version of Passport. All right, fine. Will I ever get to Passport? I don't know. I may need may need to use my Passport to days because like I hadn't seen it on the shelves in years. But can't buy everything. Okay, so Hunter Piper's Chivas Brothers versus Johnnie Walker. Who will win? I would think Johnnie Walker. Now, Chivas Brothers, Hunter Piper's. I would find this in Louisiana back when I used to see it on the shelves for $8.99, $8.99. Not kidding. Worst case was $9.99. It says age 3 years right there on the thing. But you see this 750 milliliters. You know how much I paid for 750 milliliters? Joking. You know how much I paid for 750 milliliters the last time I bought it? $3.98. True story. Now, I don't know how Discount Depot was able to sell it for $3.98, but I didn't ask. I bought it and I left. And honestly, I never saw it again. So they might have just been closing out for Louisiana. And maybe Heaven Hill dropped it. Maybe they don't. I don't know why I'm coughing. Maybe they don't deal with it anymore. They might have thought, sales are slow. Y'all let the contract expire. It might have only been for 20 years anyway. And then they just decided to let them have it in India. That could be it. That could be the case. But I could do some research on it. Could be a bunch of backstock, though. Yeah, smells like not much here. Just standard whiskey, nothing remarkable. Could be any kind of whiskey. Same. Could be anything. So you don't get a whole lot on aroma with these. And I've said that about the Song of Fire. There's not a whole lot. Now, I wanted to do a duo review with this yesterday on Song of Fire, and David, he wasn't interested. He was like, nah, he wanted to do an Irish whiskey. I said, well, we could do that. It's fine with me. And as it turns out, he loved that Irish whiskey, which I love it too, but I'll never find it again. I think it's gone, discontinued. All right, this has a nice sweet flavor. A lot of honey. No kind of smoke, no kind of peat. Okay, I thought Hunter Piper's was smoky and peaty, but now I'm thinking that I was some kind of fantasy in my mind. Maybe there's smoky peatiness here, and maybe not. Now, this one here, A Song of Fire, talks about they use Caol Ila whiskey in it, gives it a subtle smokiness. Really, I find it gives it no smokiness, or practically no smokiness. Now, are these tasting that different one from another? No. Now, I know the Johnnie Walker one is probably aged 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. The Hunter Piper's is only 3 years. No way I'm paying $40.99 for this if I could buy Hunter Piper's for $8.99. Sorry, not going to happen. It's not really much better. And really, is it even better? That's the question, and I'm not seeing that. Not at this point. Standard. All right, it's got more. Okay, now the depth of flavor is coming out. It's got a deeper flavor, more honey, maybe some peatiness. Okay, yeah, but still $40, $41.99. That's what Total Wine has it for, versus $8.99. I don't believe so. I don't think it's worth the extra money by any means. Let's see, 100 Pipers. They're saying a mixture of 25 to 30 carefully selected malt. I'm looking on their website. Carefully selected malt whiskeys, 25 to 30. Maybe that's why it's so good. And how could it be so cheap? I don't know. And they bought it in 2001 when, like I said, Seagram's was exiting. The Seagram's owners were exiting the liquor business. Yeah, they've got a handle of this stuff, and it's glass, a handle of this stuff at a liquor store in St. Augustine, Florida for $19.99. $19.99. A full 1,750 milliliter bottle. And it's showing the old bottle. The product images shown are for illustration purposes only and may differ from the actual product. Yes, that's right. They do, because they're showing the old Seagram's photo from 20 years ago. They never bothered to change it. Now, if you do see that in the United States, let's see, you find an old bottle and it says Seagram's 100 Pipers. Now you know, now you know, now you know, now you know, you got a bottle from at least 20 years, 24 years ago. I'd buy it because it might taste different. I doubt it. Still coming from the same people. It's hard to imagine 25 to 30 single malts blended in. Well, that's what they said. That's a primary source, the company that makes it. Okay, give it an A today. Now, next week, I might give it a B. I'm going with a 9.3 out of 10, most excellent. The Johnnie Walker, it's higher. It's like a 9.5 out of 10. Super solid. And that's I scored the doggone Blue Label 9.5. So it's interesting. When I first tried it, I didn't think it was too great, but it's grown on me. And I told David that yesterday. It's grown on me. It's sometimes these things do that. They'll develop as you sip on them. So it's a real winner, but it's gone. Can't find it anymore. Well, you might find it, but it's no longer in production. Let's say it that way. So I did find it for $14.99. Now, yeah, I would pay $14.99 for it versus the 100 Pipers, but that was just because they were getting rid of it. So $14.99 for the Song of Fire and a Song of Ice. And like I said, never saw it again, actually. But I probably stumble across it sometimes, and I'll just keep on shopping because I've got it, I've tried it, and I've enjoyed it. So I have a few more challenges coming up with this whiskey, and then we'll close it out. And it's on to brandy, y'all. Brandy, that's always exciting. All right, y'all take care now and have a good Sunday and a great week. Bye-bye, everybody.